I think that her constituents aren't going to be happy. Already, I have people calling me. They want to challenge her to a race in her district in Georgia. And, that's too bad. She's lost a wonderful conservative reputation. But when she says, don't go overseas, if I didn't go overseas, we might be in a war right now with China.
Inflation and holding it steady. But that doesn't bring prices down. And so gaslighting the people and trying to tell them that prices have come down is not helping. It's actually infuriating people because people know what they're paying at the grocery store. They know what they're paying for their kids' clothes and school supplies. You don't gaslight them, you don't lecture them, and you don't deny what's happening.
And without Manchin and Sinema, they would have done it the last.
Would you be open to endorsing someone primarying Marjorie Taylor Greene given her latest statements?
Well, it depends on who runs against her. I mean, I'm no longer much of a fan because I disagree with her policy. When she said that, going to foreign countries, bringing back trillions of dollars is not important. Do you think I want to go and be on an airplane for 20 hours? Some of you were with me. 22 hours to be exact, travel and then get off and make a speech and get people to invest hundreds of billions of dollars in our country. I'd rather do it without having to go, but if you didn't go, you wouldn't be able to have that.
This is information that has needed to come out for a very long time, and the American people have demanded it. And so the American people deserve to see transparency from their government. Rich, powerful people should not be protected. That is completely wrong. And it's a message to victims everywhere, victims of rape, human trafficking, and children who are trapped in terrible situations, that the government will not protect the predators, that we will work hard to protect the victims.
I don't know what happened to Marjorie. She's a nice woman, but I don't know what happened. She's lost her way, I think. But I have to view the presidency as a worldwide situation, not locally. I mean, we could have a world that's on fire where wars come to our shores very easily if you had a bad president.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, go ahead and tap that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss another deep dive into the wide and unpredictable roller coaster of American politics. Now, buckle up, because today's episode is pure political drama, the kind that reality TV wishes it could produce. Is this the end of MAGA as we know it? Because the house that Trump built is cracking loudly, and the latest earthquake, Donald Trump publicly denouncing Marjorie Taylor Greene and calling her, wait for it, a traitor. Yes, a traitor from a movement that used that word like seasoning on everything they didn't like. Now using it on their own. Oh, this is going to be fun. Let's get into it.
If you didn't think there was a MAGA civil war going on before, there is definitely one going on now, as Trump has totally removed his endorsement of Marjorie Taylor Greene, and both spent the night sparring back and forth on social media. Trump calling her a lightweight, saying she's gone to the left and won on the low IQ show The View, and has now come up with a new nickname for her, saying that she should be known as Marjorie Taylor Brown, because when the green grass turns brown, it's when it starts to rot. I'm not making this up. These are things he has said. She has gone back and attacked him, saying that she is America first and America only, and saying he has moved away from all of that. This, I think, really comes down to the Epstein files. Even Laura Loomer has jumped on the bandwagon and has been attacking Marjorie Taylor Greene, saying she was never the voice of MAGA. But Laura Loomer herself has left the Republican Party. Even Tucker Carlson has completely split off. He released a video yesterday talking about the shooter who attempted to assassinate Trump, Thomas Crooks, and says he found, through this investigative process, legitimately found all of his social media posts on YouTube, and found that he did have a large social media presence that the FBI scrubbed and has lied about, allegedly, according to Tucker Carlson. And he's trying to ask why. Why are they not being transparent about this? Because based on what he found, Thomas Crooks was a huge MAGA supporter, huge, massive Trump supporter. So then why would he try to assassinate the president? It makes no sense. There needs to be explanations for this, and we have gotten none. So MAGA is definitely having an internal civil war. Republicans are trying to decide what their next moves are, and they are really strategically thinking what a post-Trump world is going to be like for them. The recent Epstein revelations have really gotten to Trump. Marjorie Taylor Greene strongly supported that. She supports the victims, and Trump is furious about it. And he's taking out his rage about this out on Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she is standing strong, and she needs to do so. And she sees that we are entering a post-Trump world, and she was ahead of this before any of the other Republicans. Let me know what you guys think about all this. Let me know what you think will happen. Comment, like, share, spread the word, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
Oh, just like Bill Clinton when he's with Donald Trump, Christmas is coming early this year. On today's episode of our favorite MAGA soap opera, As the World Burns, Marjorie Taylor Greene has turned heel. She went on and posted last night, "President Trump has just attacked me and lied about me." I haven't called him at all, but I did send these text messages today. Apparently, this is what sent him over the edge, the Epstein files. I can't do that the whole time. You can pause to read the rest. She then proceeded to post the actual text message she sent to Donald Trump. Oh, but it doesn't end there. Laura Loomer enters the ring. As some of you may or may not know, she has literal beef with Marjorie Taylor Greene after calling her kitty cat the Arby's in your pants. Ugh. She goes on to post, "President Trump has adopted my 4-year-old nickname for MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'd be lying if I said I'm not loving this." She goes on, "President Trump just nicknamed MTG Marjorie Taylor Brown. He says green grass turns brown when it begins to rot. Trump says she betrayed the entire Republican Party." And in a stunning twist of events, just an hour ago, Marjorie Taylor Greene posts, "I am now being contacted by private security firms with warnings for my safety as a hotbed of threats against me are being fueled and egged on by the most powerful man in the world, the man I supported and helped get elected. Aggressive rhetoric attacking me has historically led to death threats and multiple convictions of men who were radicalized by the same type of rhetoric being directed at me right now, this time by the President of the United States." The pick-me's never get picked. How many times do we have to tell you that? But I'm not here to kick a bitch while she's down. I'm gonna give you credit where credit is due. Because even though this is for your own selfish reasons, you're putting it all out there. Unlike Lauren Boebert. It was reported that Donald Trump put pressure on Lauren Boebert not to vote for the Epstein files to be released. And it's being reported that she came out and told him no. But her posts on X are extremely cryptic.
Like Congresswoman Lauren Boebert did a brave thing today.
Now, she didn't confirm or deny if she did that brave thing today. Instead, she used a side-eye emoji. Now, Lauren, if I could give you any advice, it would be to handle this situation much like you did with your date watching Beetlejuice. Grab the bull by the horn and tackle it head on. You skank. Anyways, bye!
November 15th, 2025, the end of Donald Trump and MAGA. I promise you. And it's not quite for the reasons that you think. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene knows that Trump and MAGA are done, and she is distancing herself big time. The reason that they're done is because a young man put all of these email files online in a searchable function with keyword searches, and now everybody on the left and beyond are sleuthing and putting pieces together. And this is exactly what was the undoing of Hillary Clinton and her campaign. Somebody put the WikiLeaks emails online, and a whole bunch of people started doing their own investigations, searching the files. And I guarantee, I promise you, it includes Marjorie Taylor Greene. I promise she did it as well. Now, the only difference between then and now is that those on the right who were going through the WikiLeaks emails were also being fed big conspiracies due to Russian and China interference that came out in the Mueller reports. So where the WikiLeaks emails were bad enough against Clinton and establishment Democrats, there were other nefarious sources that attached Jeffrey Epstein to all of it, attached COVID conspiracies to all of it. We don't need to do that. We're not those kind of people on the left. We just simply have to investigate the facts. And with these now being online, it will never stop ending. What is discovered will never stop ending. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene knows this. She's still a viper. But right now she's a viper attacking our enemy, Trump and MAGA Republicans. But still, keep your distance from her. Just sit back and enjoy the show. But yeah, I promise you he's done.
Well, breaking fuck the news, good morning and happy Saturday. The dissent among the MAGA ranks has risen to the all-time of highs. President Trump rejects longtime ally Marjorie Taylor Greene as MAGA civil war continues. President Donald Trump calls his longtime ally, Marjorie Taylor Greene, a ranting lunatic and accused her of going far left as their rift deepens over the release of the Epstein files. Trump tore into the Georgia Republican Friday evening after she accused the White House of a huge miscalculation in brushing off the latest attempts to release the files. I understand that the wonderful conservative people are thinking about primarying Marjorie in her district of Georgia, that they too are fed up with her and her antics. If the right person runs, they will have my complete and unyielding support, Trump wrote on True Social. Greene called the president's actions with the files astonishing and accused Trump of coming after her to make an example to scare all the other Republicans from voting for more Epstein disclosures. I have supported President Trump with too much of my precious time, too much of my own money, and fought harder for him even when almost all the other Republicans turned their backs and denounced him, she wrote next. But I do not worship or serve Donald Trump. I'll keep you updated with more.
Marjorie Taylor Greene just announced that she has received an influx of death threats after Donald Trump attacked her on social media. Earlier today on Twitter, she said, "I am now being contacted by private security firms with warnings for my safety as a hotbed of threats against me are being fueled and egged on by the most powerful man in the world, the man I supported and helped get elected. As a woman, I take threats from men seriously. I now have a small understanding of the fear and the pressure the women who are victims of Epstein must feel. As a Republican who votes overwhelmingly for Trump's bills and agenda, his aggression against me, which also fuels the venomous nature of his radical internet trolls, many of whom are paid. Yeah, this is completely shocking to everyone." Now, threats against anybody in politics is always wrong. Democrat, Republican, Independent, across the board, it's bad. But I do want to point out that this kind of behavior from Donald Trump is something that Marjorie Taylor Greene cheered on and enabled for years. She laughed when Trump would do it to Democrats, and now that she's the one who's being targeted, it's a different story. So maybe Republicans should think twice before supporting someone like Donald Trump, because one day it could be them who he's targeting.
As someone whose last name is also Greene, I am offended. I will offended. Lightweight Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Brown. Green grass turns brown when it begins to rot. Excuse me, that's offensive. Let's continue. Betrayed the entire Republican Party when she turned left, performed poorly on the pathetic View, and became the rhino that we all know she always was. Just another fake politician, no different than Rand Paul Jr. and Thomas Massie. Okay, who got caught being a full-fledged Republican in name only? Rhino, make America great again. This little lovers quarrel between Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump is actually really funny, but it's also really good for us because she has a better grasp of where the MAGA base is than Trump even does. She knows what they care about and what they don't, and she knows how to speak to them even better than he does. I promise you, she really does, which is why she's been sort of like, you know, moving her way away from him because she sees that the post-Trump era is coming. Stick a fork in him, guys. He is done. I'm telling you, he's on. This is the beginning of the end. He's on his way out. They're going to start throwing him overboard. The techno bros always wanted JD Vance. The Heritage Foundation always wanted JD Vance. Anyway, these emails are just an excuse. So is his health. This is the beginning of the end. Bookmark it.
So the majority of Americans are waking up this morning and saying, what the hell is going on between Trump and MTG, right? Marjorie Taylor Greene. All of a sudden, they're mortal enemies, and Trump's endorsing Lindsey Graham. Take a look at this. Trump tweets this out right here. Yes, he says, I'm withdrawing my support and endorsement for Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Here it is right here. And people think it has to do with this. Zero money from AIPAC, right? Well, it's fitting the narrative. Dr. Simon tweets this out. He says, MTG has been pro-America from day one. Pro-Trump, pro-border, anti-woke, and now Trump turns on her, just like he attacks Thomas Massie, right? Listen, Thomas Massie has $0 from AIPAC as well. And take a look at this. This is bad right here. Happy birthday to Lindsey Graham. He is always there when I need him. Here they are golfing. MTG tweets this out. She says, President Trump just attacked me, lied about me. I haven't even called him at all. But I did send those text messages today. Apparently, this is what sent him over the edge. Have you seen him? This no big, right? Check the flight logs. Epstein's playing Clinton on there 26 times. Hillary, too. For many of us, we all know this. It's not like she's tweeting something or texting him something that's like groundbreaking, right? Everybody knows this shit, right? Well, look now. This is ugly and a very bad look for MAGA. And I got to tell you, I didn't have this on my 2025 bingo card. I didn't think MTG and Trump were going to split. I didn't think so, but here we are. And he's endorsing Lindsey Graham. And look at how much AIPAC money she takes. Zero. More to come, right?
So Marjorie Taylor Greene has just said, folks, that she is receiving death threats from MAGA Republicans in regards to her opposition of Donald Trump. You may be aware that there's been a kind of a tit-for-tat between Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene over the last couple of days, especially over the last couple of days. Marjorie Taylor Greene now has come out and said that she is receiving a hotbed of death threats. Her daughter has actually also been on X and asked for support and prayer for her mother. Interesting development, folks, that as soon as you stand up against Donald Trump, life becomes very, very serious. And but I'd like to know your thoughts on this, mainly because Marjorie Taylor Greene is actually quite a controversial figure herself. So let me know what you think about this development, and I look forward to reading your comments.
The girls are fighting, and it is MAGA on MAGA crime this morning. Check it out. Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene officially broke up. Sad day. Sad day. But he does confirm that the reason for the split is because she wanted to run for a Senate or governor, and he basically told her no. But also, it's all about the fucking Epstein files. Then started to repost people that were calling him TT out, so the breakup is on. But I'm mostly concerned about this. This is lightweight shit. He lost his fastball. He can't even insult people anymore, right? Marjorie Taylor Brown, green grass turns brown when it begins to rot. You can't even insult people anymore, man. You're done. All out MAGA civil war, and the quote, never interrupt your enemy when they are making a mistake. Just grab your popcorn, folks. Sit back. Again, MGT isn't on our side. She sucks. She's going to continue to suck. Let it all happen.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is about to learn firsthand why you can't blow up your political career by being the loudest mouthpiece in the Trump camp for 8+ years. And then immediately divest to speaking common sense and holding PDF files accountable and holding Republicans accountable, because Trump just officially pulled his endorsement for her on Truth Social and said he would support anyone but her. And you're in such a place if you're Marjorie Taylor Greene, because you've already angered every common sense person in the world with your repetitive Trump sycophantic stuff, not to mention like the wild things like Democrats control hurricanes and then Jewish space lasers and things of that nature. But now to turn tail and become common sense is now going to piss off the last remaining MAGA people who voted for you. You're pretty much in a no-win situation. She chose to try to climb the ladder using bad faith tactics, and they're not going to play out well for her.
Make some popcorn right now. MAGA is fighting. They're releasing text messages. It's so messy. I love it. But I do need you to pay attention to one thing, and I will tell you at the end, so hang on. So the summary of this is that Marjorie Taylor Greene and Trump are in a disagreement over the Epstein files being released. He attacked her today, she says. And she believes this is to scare other Republicans from voting for the Epstein files release. And she is some reason surprised of why he is fighting this hard for the Epstein files to not be released. Marjorie, there's really not too many options of why he doesn't want them to be released. Be for real here. I don't know. Maybe I'm giving her too much credit, thinking that we're supposed to read between the lines. But anyways, there's a hard pivot here. I want you guys to clock. But really, most Americans wish he would fight this hard to help the forgotten men and women of America who are fed up with the foreign wars. There we go. There we go. We made a hard pivot to America first. Anyway, she talks about how she supported Donald Trump so much, but then all he did was stab her in the back. And it's like, honestly, what did you expect? That's the part you need to clock. Because whenever they start talking about American isolationism, they're not attacking MAGA because they're going further left. They're going further into right nationalist populism. And that's what you have to watch out for. These two people are horrible. Both of them. It's like watching Freddy versus Jason, okay? We're not going to cheer for either one, but we do hope that they mutually destroy each other. Unfortunately, I think this is just going to help Marjorie, because she is the first one to jump ship.
An evening briefing for your head top. Now, some of y'all MAGA types following me, y'all ain't gonna like what I'm about to say. President Trump just called for Marjorie Taylor Greene to be primaried, and I'm all for that. He also shitted all over Thomas Massie. I'm all for that, grandstander Massie. Next is going to be you, Nancy Mace. We see you every chance you get saying how you were a victim. You guys sat up there in your press conferences, had all those signs slandering the president about him having inappropriate relationships with young girls. You know how I know y'all lost? You know how I know each and every one of y'all lost? Because y'all violated a principle. That principle is simple, and this is a teaching moment for y'all head tops. That principle is thou shalt not bear false witness. You violate that, you accuse people of doing the unthinkable, y'all deserve everything y'all get. Every last thing. We got supply side stimulus. You got these young bulls in their quarter zips looking to get to the bag, and you guys want to fall for a Democrat Epstein hoax. It is a hoax. We got supply side stimulus. These young bulls and they quarter zip is trying to get to the bag, and you distracting them. Everything is a new thing. It's H-1Bs now. It's tariffs now. It's Epstein hoax. It's everything but get into the bag. Get up off my phone, man.
We have some massive news. MAGA is in a complete civil war tonight, and that's not hyperbole. Because Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump are in a massive public argument, a massive public spat, and the world needs to know. So make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. So this all started, it's been brewing for a long time. Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene have been going back and forth publicly for a long time. Donald Trump has been saying that Marjorie has just lost her way. Marjorie Taylor Greene has been saying that Donald Trump needs to focus more on domestic politics rather than foreign politics. And a lot of stuff was brewing behind the scenes as Marjorie Taylor Greene signed on to the Epstein files discharge petition. Donald Trump obviously was lobbying both her and everyone else on the Epstein files discharge petition to remove their names, right? So we knew all of that was happening. What we didn't know was that it was as bad as it got tonight, with Donald Trump pulling his endorsement of Marjorie Taylor Greene publicly, and then Marjorie Taylor Greene responding to him by literally providing receipts of text messages she sent the White House about the Epstein files. So let's walk through this all, because it's a significant development, and it also underscores exactly why Trump doesn't want the files released. So first up, it's lengthy, and it might be a little hard to read, but I'll read it for you. This is Donald Trump withdrawing his support and endorsement of Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of the great state of Georgia. Over the past few weeks, despite my creating record achievements for our country, including a total and complete victory on the shutdown, closed borders, low taxes, no men and women's sports or transgender for everyone, ending DEI, stopping Biden's record-setting inflation, biggest regulation cuts in history, stopping 8 wars, rebuilding our military, being respected by every country in the world as opposed to being the laughingstock that we were just 12 months ago, having trillions of dollars, record-setting, invested in the United States of America, and having created the, quote, hottest country anywhere in the world from being a dead country just 12 months ago, and so much more, all I see is, quote, wacky Marjorie do is complain, complain, complain. It seemed to all begin when I sent her a poll stating that she would not run for senator or governor. She was at 12% and didn't have a chance. Unless, of course, she had my endorsement, which she wasn't about to get. She had told many people that she is upset that I don't return her phone calls anymore.
Trump just dumped Marjorie Taylor Greene publicly, loudly, and with all the subtlety of a man throwing furniture out of a window. And before anyone celebrates, this isn't drama, accountability. This is authoritarian power consolidation. And here's why it matters. When an authoritarian leader turns on one of his most loyal foot soldiers, it's not because they lost their way. It's because they stopped being useful. Greene wasn't ousted for lying, fear-mongering, or spreading conspiracy theories. She wasn't dropped for undermining democracy. She wasn't punished for extremism. She was punished for not being obedient enough. This is the psychology of strongman politics. Loyalty is never enough. Devotion is never enough. You are safe only as long as you serve the leader's needs. That exact moment. Authoritarians don't build teams, they build hierarchies of fear. And if one of the most unhinged loyalists can be discarded overnight, imagine how little protection anyone else has, including Republican lawmakers who still believe they can work with the administration. This isn't a victory. This is a warning. Watch the pattern. Chaos, loyalty test, purge, replace with someone even more extreme. We're entering the purge phase. Buckle up, buttercup.
So here we are in the year of political plot twists. And the MAGA meltdown has officially gone from a slow simmer to a full-on bubbling pot with the lid shaken. Marjorie Taylor Greene, longtime Trump cheerleader, hype woman, microphone holder, and self-appointed spokesperson of the, what did she just say? Wing of the GOP, has now found herself on the receiving end of Trump's trademark verbal flamethrower. Trump calling someone a traitor inside his own movement is like Coca-Cola saying Sprite has too much sugar. Like, sir, who exactly do you think sets this standard? But according to reports, Trump is furious with MTG for daring to step out of line, push her own agenda, and worst of it, attempt to be the main character in a story where Trump believes he's the only main character allowed. No supporting roles, no side quiz, no spines off, just him. And while Trump and MTG throwing hands in a public square is funny enough on its own, ripple effect with the MAGA universe has been even more entertaining. Their supporters suddenly don't know who to be loyal to. You think these folks were watching their parents argue at the dinner table. Some are clutching their Trump flags tighter than ever, insisting that MTG has lost her way. Others, hilariously, are insisting that MTG is the real patriot, and Trump has gone soft. Yes, that is an actual claim some people are making now, that Trump is not extreme enough. I imagine that bad. This whole meltdown exposes what some of us has been saying for a long time. Now, the MAGA movement was built on loyalty, not ideology, not policy, not long-term vision, just raw, unquestioning loyalty. And once loyalty becomes the foundation, the moment anyone disagrees, The whole building wobbles like a Jenga tower in a windstorm. Greene's attempt to carve out her own power line wasn't exactly subtle either, right? She's been pushing her own headlines, her own narratives, and trying to position herself as Trump's equal or heir, which inside the MAGA ecosystem is the ultimate act of betrayal. You do not outshine the king in his own castle, and now she's learning what every former Trump ally eventually discovers. The Sun King does not tolerate eclipse. But this goes deeper than one feud. It signals a fragmentation in the MAGA movement itself. When your entire brand is built on us versus them, eventually someone inside the us camp becomes the new them, right? And when the attacks go inward, the fractures widen first. We're already seeing conservative influencers fighting online like middle scholars with ring lights. Some are defending Trump and some are defending MTG, and some are desperately begging everyone to stop the infighting, which is like asking a tornado to please not uproot the barn. Meanwhile, Democrats and independents are sitting on the sideline eating popcorn like it's a season finale. Because whether you love Trump, hate Trump, or just enjoy the entertainment value, you can see something has shifted. The MAGA universe isn't moving as one hive mind anymore. Some bees have gone rogue. And let's be clear, Greene being called a traitor is not just a mad insult. It's a declaration of war inside a movement that thrives on public humiliation and dramatic loyalty tests. Trump isn't just pushing her aside, he's making an example of her. He's sending a message to every conservative politician who thinks they can ride his movement while steering the wheel themselves. Don't get too bold. That's the message. But here's the question. Does this mark the beginning of the end of MAGA? Because movements that rely heavily on one leader tend to collapse when internal conflicts apply or appears. Once factions emerge, unity evaporates, and once unity dissolves, well, history tells us that the rest collapse quickly. Trump still has a massive following, but his control isn't absolute anymore. The MAGA ecosystem has grown beyond him. And ironically, that might be what destroys it. When your movement produces stars who want to shine independently, or radicals who think the original radical isn't radical enough, you end up with chaos. So yes, this might be the beginning of the end, or it might be the beginning of something even more chaotic, which, let's be honest, feels on brand. So that's where things stand. Trump versus Marjorie Taylor Greene. In the cage match, nobody asked for, but everybody is definitely watching. But now, I want to hear from you. Do you think this meltdown is the beginning of the end for MAGA movement? Is MTG trying to become Trump 2.0? Or did she simply, fly too close to the orange sun? And who do you think will be the next target in this internal firestorm? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. It's going to be spicy, right? Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, and hit that subscribe button. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next video. Credit belongs to original creators.